Welcome to the Family Brand Show. We're Chris and Melissa Smith of FamilyBrand.com, husband and wife, parents of 5, and we want to help you take back your family and to live life on your terms.
And we know being a family can feel really overwhelming. Parents tell us they feel like they're being pulled in a million different directions. It's so challenging to navigate the uncertainty and all the chaos that's happening in the world right now.
And that's why we want to bring you every single week actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become a better parent, to become a better spouse, and to build a stronger family. And look, there's never been a better time and a more important time than right now to take back your family. You can define what your family stands for, or the world is going to do it for you. And the world needs strong families now more than ever. And it starts right here with your family.
Okay, everyone, we are going to talk about the Family Brand Blitz that we held, a month ago?
Yeah. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Yes, happy holidays. Merry Christmas as well. The Family Brand Blitz was really cool. We've never done something like that. We've done some couples retreats in Mexico, Hawaii. We've done, coaching cohorts, like groups of families online. But we've never just, hey, come for a day and a half and let's build out your family brand. And Melissa organized all of it. It was incredible. Had 7 couples come. I felt like the couples who were supposed to be there were there. It was just really awesome.
Yeah, it was fun to have many different, couples from the East Coast and from Colorado and some local couples. We had a really great variety of amazing families, every single one of them, couples.
Yeah, and it was also cool to see families at different stages. Some had newborns. Some their youngest was in their teens, and kind of everything in between. And we just wanted to share some of our takeaways. We also wanted to talk about today, really cool, this week is the 5-year anniversary of the Family Brand podcast.
Which is crazy. 5 years is a really long time.
Okay, I just want to take a moment and acknowledge Melissa.
Oh, Chris.
Melissa's amazing. So something you may not know is Melissa has missed, I think, 12 episodes in 5 years. She's gotten a weekly episode out every single week for 5 years, except 12 times. And just the consistency and the commitment, Melissa, and your commitment to families, your commitment to this work is super inspiring to me. And I think it can be so challenging to be consistent with something. And so good job, Melissa. You're amazing.
Thank you. One thing I've been noticing recently, you and I were on a podcast earlier this week. We were guests on a podcast, and just some other things we have going on with Family Brand. We have been recording some stuff, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But I find myself holding my head a little higher, being I have a tendency to be when we're recording, a little bit maybe uncertain. But lately, I've been thinking you know what? Talking about this for 5 years. I've been podcasting for 5 years. I earned the right to hold my head high. It's I don't still need to be pretending I don't know what I'm doing, or that I can't share my thoughts, because sometimes I still feel like that. I don't know if I'm sharing this clearly, and maybe that does still happen, but I've just found if doing that in my own head, I'm no, I've been doing this for 5 years.
I've earned the right to be here.
Yeah.
Which you have. It's amazing, Melissa. So a couple takeaways for me from the Family Brand Blitz. 1, families are incredible. And every family has challenges. Every family struggles with something at any given time. And even in the midst of that struggle, it's a work that's really worth doing. Because I just observed these amazing couples who, a lot of them flew from all over the United States to be there. And yeah, it's just remarkable. And another takeaway for me was that you never want to stop improving. You never want to stop striving to get better. So even Melissa and I recognized some things in that particular format that had us realize oh wow, we can level up Family Brand. We can make it even more impactful for families.
Yeah, which that I would say is one huge takeaway. Is we have, in an effort to serve families, we've wanted to make the Family Brand academy, like our online digital program, very robust and very thorough and very just all encompassing. Like, I don't know. And I think there's been times along the road too where we've gotten feedback. Like, there was someone helping us with putting out some digital. Like, we got some feedback with someone that was helping us with some marketing stuff, saying like, okay, this needs to be longer or bigger, which we did, and then only to realize like, that's not the right vibe here. Like, families don't need a really, like, maybe for business that's fine, but families don't need a big, ginormous digital program that's going to take them weeks and hours to get through. And so we have something new we're launching after the Family Brand Blitz, realizing like, okay, how can we make this faster, more streamlined, easier for families to build their brand? I was telling Chris this morning before we hit record, I'm really proud that usually I'll think about an idea for a long time and then execute it, but we already executed it. We recorded our bite-sized family brand program this week, so that'll be coming in January. So look for that.
Yeah, and to me, it was also, I think, a lesson in. I think sometimes, as families or just individuals, when you want to grow and evolve, and maybe like level up, the tendency for me is to think like, okay, well that means I've got to do more. I've got to take on more stuff, and I actually think that more often I should maybe do less but accomplish more. Like, how do I simplify things? And I think that's the pull for every family at times, is you just feel like you're being pulled in a million directions and it's just so overwhelming. There's so many things going on. So it's like, how can we simplify our lives? And I think that's a really useful thing to look for as a family, is to always be looking for, how can we make our lives a bit more simple? And maybe it's like addition by subtraction. Like, we add more peace by subtracting some things and doing less. And I do think we totally accomplished that with this new program. It's just as impactful. I would say it's even more impactful, but in a shorter amount of time for families.
A good thing, what you're saying is a good thing at this time of year to look at, like, okay, into the new year, are there some things we want to subtract? I love the new year for that reason. It's a really great time to reevaluate. What are we going to subtract? Maybe there's some things we're going to add in any area of your family life.
Yeah, as we did some year-end planning for the Possibility Company with our team, a really awesome question that Doug on our team shared was, what are we going to start doing? What are we going to stop doing? And what are we going to continue doing? You know, and it was really useful because there were some things that we realized as a company, like, wow, there are some things that we ought to start doing. We also identified there's some things we should really stop doing. And then there's some things that are working that we want to continue doing. What's interesting to me is some of the things that we identified we would stop doing, even though it was so clear in the moment that, like, yeah, we should stop doing that, I don't think we'd have caught it had we not taken that time and just like looked, because it was just easy to. And so I do think, yeah, this time of year is awesome. It's an awesome opportunity to maybe simplify. And though, if you're not careful, it's also a time of year where you can feel super chaotic and overwhelmed because you feel like you have to participate in every single thing that you get invited to, or every single dress-up day at your kid's school or whatever it is. And the reality is, like, you don't have to do it all. The other lesson I do want to talk about the 5 years of the Family Brand podcast, I think one of the most difficult things in life is consistency. Like, for me, it's pretty easy for me to get, Melissa can attest to this, I don't just get excited about something new. I get like really excited, like obsessed, like go all in. That's usually not an issue for me. And I don't think that's an issue for most people, is like to get excited about something you're excited about. I think the real challenge though is, can you stay consistent with it? Can you sustain it once the excitement wears off? Well, for a lot of people, the excitement seems to wear off at about the 90-day mark. So I'm curious, Melissa, for you, how have you remained so consistent and disciplined week over week over week, month over month, year over year for 5 years?
It kind of reminds me, in a way, of going to the gym, or at least how I experience going to the gym. There's sometimes where I'm like really excited about it, and other times where it's like, okay, I'm maybe not as excited, but it's like, okay, I know I just got to keep being consistent, and then that excitement will come back. So to tie it into the podcast, I always love doing the podcast. Make no mistake about that. But there's times when I'm like really excited about it, and I'm like trying to reach out to, like, I have some guests that I really want to connect with, and conversations that I really want to have with Chris on the podcast. And other times where it's like, okay, what are we going to record? Or what are we going to record this month? But I have to know, or I know though that during those periods where you don't feel like doing it, like, you just got to do it. But then you'll feel good about it. Like, after you stay consistent and after you keep with it, you'll get excited about it again. We have renewed energy for it.
Yeah, I mean, I know this sounds so obvious, but it's easier to do it when you feel excited about it, right? Because that's anything in our lives. But I really do think, like, yeah, but what do you do when you don't want to do it? What do you do when you don't feel excited about it? What do you do when you don't feel motivation to do it? And it's something, though, that you know you want to do. That's an interesting, it's like there are things like health or the podcast, for example. It's like, I know I want to do it. I know it's important to me. And just because that is true doesn't mean that you're always going to feel like it.
Yeah.
So I think it's in those moments where it's like, well, you just do it anyways. And I know that's like not the answer a lot of people want, but I do think that the gym analogy works, because it's like you will feel good about having done it, even though in the moment you may not want to do it. And and what you said earlier, it's like, I think sometimes if you think about the future confidence that you want to have or what it would create in you, for you to be able to say, like, man, yeah, I can, like, hold my head high. I'm like, say, I've earned the right to have a voice around family because I've been doing it for 5 years and I've done so much research and put in the effort. And I think that is an interesting concept, this idea of earning the right. I mean, technically, anyone has the right to do anything. Doesn't mean it's going to be okay, but, like, you have the right. Like, you have free agency, you have free will. But I do think it's interesting to think about this idea of earning the right. It's like, yes, I have the right to start a podcast. But when have I maybe earned the right to, like, really stand on top of that podcast, like a platform, and have a voice? And for every person, it's a little bit different. But I personally love the idea and the connotation of, like, I'm going to earn the right, because it's like, I'm going to do the work. I'm going to prove to myself that I'm, capable of this. And most of the ways that I think most of us can earn the right to have a voice, have a platform, have more impact, have more influence, whatever it is consistency. Consistency might be like if earning the right is on the right side of the equal sign, it's like what you're solving for. Like, I want to earn the right to whatever it is. Then there's got to be some type of, like, formula on the left side, this plus this plus this. But, like, one of those has to be, what you say, consistency.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I want to earn the right to be healthier, right? It's like, what, And you could say probably other things, consistency, clarity, like discipline, but I think discipline and consistency, go hand in hand.
One thing I would love to have you talk about for a minute here, going back to the Family Brand Blitz, the way that we started the Blitz, we were brainstorming, like, okay, how can we invite, like, what kind of energy do we want to start the Family Brand Blitz with before we, like, jump into the content and stuff? And we had after the Blitz, we have 2 follow-up calls, and one of them was just a few days ago with all the families, and some families are, like, have so much momentum after the Blitz as it relates to their family brand, and others not as much. I think that everyone definitely made progress and had wins, but there was some people that are just, like, in a hard place right now, and it would reminded me of how you started the Family Brand Blitz about, like, we are firemen as it relates to parenting. We talk about that.
But, by the way, one of the coolest ideas, Melissa, I've ever heard is on the follow-up call. One of the moms who was at the Family Brand Blitz, she took her family's values and made a family values advent calendar for December, which we thought was so cool.
Yeah, she's so cool. So tuck that away for next year.
Yeah. There's this video, we can link to it in the show notes. It's a YouTube video, and it's a clip of this boxer who's sitting in the corner in between rounds, and this really, I guess, world-renowned, famous trainer, Teddy Atlas, boxing trainer, is talking to him in between rounds, and you get the sense that this fighter the fight's not going well, and he's maybe not performing at the level he's capable of. And so Teddy Atlas was like, I got to remind this guy of who he is. And he said, and basically what he says in this clip, and it's amazing, it's one of my favorite clips, is he goes, the flames don't bother us. Like the heat doesn't bother us. The heat and the flames are actually those are the things that let us know we're exactly where we're supposed to be because we're firemen. So as a fireman, like we're not afraid of the flames. We're not afraid of the heat. We welcome it because it's like, oh, because it's who I am. And then we extinguish the flames. And he's like getting his face like, we are firemen. We were like made for this. And I love that because I think sometimes when life comes at you, it has you question like, well, I'm not made for this. I can't do this. Or another way of looking at it is, oh, this challenge, this adversity, it's actually the thing that's letting me know I'm right where I'm supposed to be because like this is my home. Like I'm a fireman. And I just decided to share with these parents, these families, like you are firemen. Like you can show up for your family and you don't have to do it alone, but there's no flame, no adversity, no challenge that can come to your family that you can't extinguish, that you can't solve or overcome. And you might need some help. But like, I think a lot of times as parents and as individuals, we just don't occur for ourselves or see ourselves as powerfully as we really are. And that's what I wanted to set the stage with. It's like, your children were sent to you for a reason. Like you can lead your family. You can overcome anything. And especially if you are united and a team.
Love that.
So to all you, you're a fireman.
You're a fireman. I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah.
Today. You're a fireman. Like you are made for this, for parenting these people and leading them through life.
All right, so that is it for today's episode of the Family Brand Podcast.
But before you go, we have something fun for you.
Yeah, like if you've ever wondered, okay, so how's our family culture actually doing? We've got an incredible quiz for that.
Good news, it's quick, it's free, and when you're done with that quiz, we'll even email you this awesome PDF full of practical ways to strengthen your family culture right away.
So all you have to do is go to familybrand.com/quiz, take the quiz, grab the PDF.
We'll see you next time.